Hello everyone, my name is Hadi and today I'm going to make a video about the differences between Fight Club movie version and Fight Club novel version. And this video is for the final project of literature and film class and let's begin. First is the release date. The film was released in 1999 with David Fincher as the director and novel was released in 1996 with Chuck Palahniuk as the writer. Short synopsis. So they have the same synopsis, and this is the short synopsis. A depressed man suffering from insomnia meets a strange soap salesman named Tyler Durden and soon finds himself living in his squalid house after his perfect apartment is destroyed. The two workmen form an underground fighting club with strict rules and fight other men who are fed up with their mundane lives, and their perfect partnership frays when Marla, a fellow support group crasher, attracts Tyler's attention. So these are the differences between the movie and the novel. The first, we have narrative structures. The novel is written in the first person with the unknown narrator recounting events from his perspective. The film shifts away from this internal monologue and takes a more cinematic approach and portraying events from an external viewpoint. Next is character development. Some characters are portrayed differently between the two mediums. Marla's character is more elaborated in the novel, with her backstory and motivations explored in greater detail than in the movie. Next is subplots and character. The novels include several subplots and characters that are either condensed or omitted in the film. For instance, the novel delves deeper into the support groups the narrator attends, and there are more extensive discussions about consumerism and societal disillusionment. Next is violence and satire. While both the novel and the film contain elements of violence and satire, the tone and presentation differ. The novel's violence can be more graphic and visceral and more explicit than in the film, while the film employs a darker feel, more stylized approach to violence and satire, with some scenes being more subdued or implied rather than shown explicitly. Next is visualization. David Fincher's direction gives the film a distinct visual style that differs from the gritty, surreal atmosphere of the novel. The film's cinematography, editing, and use of music contribute to its unique aesthetic. Next is themes and messages. While both the novel and the film explore themes such as masculinity, identity, and alienation, they emphasize and interpret these themes in slightly different ways. The novel may delve more into the narrator's internal struggles and philosophical ponderings, while the film may focus more on the external manifestations of these themes through its visual storytelling. And the endings of the novel and the film differ significantly. While both conclude with the destruction of the credit card company's buildings, the aftermath is handled differently. In the novel, the narrator ends up with a mental institution, whereas in the film, he and Marla are seen holding hands while watching the destruction. Next is the critical view on the movie. First is depiction of the mental illness. So the film's portrayal of mental illness, particularly dissociative identity disorder or DID, has been criticized for its inaccuracies and sensationalism. The character of Tyler Durden and his relationship with the narrator are often seen as a misrepresentation of the ID. Next is gender representation. Critics have also pointed out that the film's portrayal of women, particularly Marla, is somewhat one dimensional. Marla is often seen as a plot device or a symbol rather than a fully developed character in her own right. Additionally, some argue that the film's depiction of masculinity reinforces traditional gender norms and stereotypes rather than challenging them. And the last is ethical concerns. The film has been criticized for its portrayal of violence, particularly in the context of the Fight Club itself. Some argue that the film glorifies violence and encourages a sense of toxic masculinity among its viewers, and leading to real world consequences. So that's all from me. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.